Hello. Am I sideways on the screen? Can anybody tell me? Yeah, so we've had a bit of a technical issue. I brought the wrong charger with me when I came back to the office, and unfortunately that means that I've not been able to use my laptop, which has got some resources I was going to show you on it. But I have got my phone and I've written some of the points down I was going to speak about. Unfortunately, I can't use the microphone, which I've got here as well, and the studio lights and things, because they all plug into the computer. But not to worry, we're here, and thank you all for coming. I'm not sure how many people are in here at the moment, but I'm going to give a few minutes maybe to let other people join. Oh yeah, 5 people it says. Yeah, that were a bad move. Say I'm a tech CEO, you'd think I'd remember, or at least check I've got the right charger with me. Or anyway, not to worry. Hi Joseph and John. Hi Nico, Miguel and Sam. Good to see you all. So I mean, I'm planning this to be around 45 minutes long, so I'm not gonna waste time and sit around waiting for people. It is recorded, and yes, I do need decorations. I've got a whiteboard and things here. I'll put them up as soon as possible. I agree, I need a nice plant or something in this corner as well. And I've got loads of motivational and business quotes and cool pictures to put up yet as well. So anyway, right, let's get started. I want to start with talking about what we're doing at the moment, what we've been doing, and why we're so quiet, or why I'm so quiet more than anything. So basically, for the last, I can't even tell you how long now, it's been several weeks. Myself and the rest of the core team members, not the tech team, we've been working on building partnerships with VCs and institutional investors. This has taken us across Europe, actually. Just a couple of weeks ago, we traveled to Milan to meet an investor, and we've got other trips booked as well. And yeah, so basically, we've got to a point now where we've actually shaken hands with one company to make a quite decent investment into Kick Labs. The plan is that basically we're going to take this money, we're going to put it to work straight away. We have got some quite promising feedback from them, and essentially there is quite a short window, you know, for them to make this investment. And what I mean by that is basically these guys, they've got big tax bills and things they must pay by the end of the year, and in order to hedge against having to pay all of that tax, they can make investments and write some of that off. So it makes a lot more sense for them to invest into a company that could potentially give them higher returns than it would to just put it straight into the taxman's pocket. So we was really fortunate actually with the timing of these meetings that we've had. We're really optimistic that these are going to go well. I can't make any promises with 100% certainty because things change, you know. We have got a plan B and C at this moment, but fingers crossed, things are working out, and we're about to close a nice deal. So what are we going to do with that money once we get it? Well, the first and most obvious thing would be marketing. I know it's something we've spoken about a lot in the past, but we've never really, I mean, we've had little bits of marketing events here and there, but we've never really taken it to the level that the project deserves. So the most obvious thing is to collaborate with several marketing firms. We're looking to spend a sizable amount of money into doing just that. And then we're going to continually do that over a long period of time. So basically, we're going to get a retainer with at least 1 or 2 companies and work with them to essentially explore all different kinds of marketing for the next 1 to 5 years, just with this amount of money that we're looking to get if we close this deal. Now, obviously, that's going to be a great thing for all of us. It's going to bring a bit more excitement and hype into the chat. And then with that, we're obviously going to need to expand the team. So the next point in what we're going to be spending that money on will be team expansion. At the moment, we are quite a small team. We've got limited resources in terms of being able to be everywhere at once, which is where we'd really like to be in order to increase our presence, to provide you all with something similar to what we used to, but whilst also not letting that sacrifice our productivity in other areas. Now, we've got a plan for that. We know exactly where we're going to hire people from. We've also got a few new people we've been speaking to, and 1 or 2 people who basically have been around the project for a while who want a more active role. So we're going to combine all of these things and essentially build up a team of 10 to 20 new community team members. And what that's going to do is allow us to communicate with them directly. So I'll be communicating with them more easily, and they'll be passing everything on every day to everybody. That'll be answering questions, even if it's the same ones over and over again by new people, because we're going to get that. But yeah, essentially, we're just going to double down, expand that team, and then we're going to also expand in our technical team so that we've got, you know, everything that we need to deliver on what we say, exactly when we say it, and to the standard that we expect, which we haven't always achieved. Admittedly, you know, we can't be perfect, but we are a startup, and I believe we've done well. We've got a lot of room to improve, and we will definitely be improving a lot. When you consider the budget that we've had compared to some of the other blockchain layer 1 projects out there, we've had minuscule amounts of cash and capital to work with, and yet we're still going despite thousands of dollars of costs every month that we keep paying. Yeah, we're still here. We're now at a position where we're going to take a massive leap forward down in our roadmap and start making some real progress. So that's really exciting from my part. So what's next? More accessibility. Now, I've seen a few people asking us over a longer period of time, are we going to get some more exchange listings? Well, we are. Our plan is to only list in like top 10 exchanges, but for us to actually pay for the listings, I mean, we're not going to pay to list on anything outside of the top 10 exchanges. And I guess with that, there's going to also be a lot of hype that comes from that, because the new users are going to come over and start looking at what we're doing. And then that's going to be combined with the marketing I've just spoken about as well. And I think that those huge levels of hype will allow us to list everywhere else really for free. I mean, a lot of other projects have done the same. They basically want to ride the wave with us, you know. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully by this time next year, we don't want to be seen anywhere less than 20 different exchanges, as well as the next point I was going to make, as well as liquidity pools on our own decentralized exchange, Wendex. So yeah, that's a big thing that we've been missing out on really. And we're thinking we're going to use our own exchange and partner up with some of the largest stablecoin providers like Tether. We have previously been in contact with the Tether team, who said they'd like to work with us. They like listing on, launching on loads of different blockchains, but they want to see certain things, you know. And now we're in a position where we're able to do that. One of those things is actually having the liquidity to be able to make a purchase, kind of thing, which shows that we're committed to actually utilizing the USDT or whichever stablecoin we bring over. And the reason we're going to do that is because that will allow all of the other projects to come over who trust in Tether and whatnot and be traded quite easily on our chain. In an ideal world, what we're going to be doing is, just like you'll see on the Ethereum network or the Binance Smart Chain, we're going to have like Bitcoin and Ethereum and BNB and Solana and Casper and all this sort of thing as a tradable asset on the Kick chain. and that will mean that it's going to need USDT to be able to trade that. So yeah, we're going to explore that option and make that happen as soon as possible. Global events is another one. Sorry, I've got a pad here because obviously my laptop, I didn't bring the charger with me, so I'm reading off pen and paper what I've just written before this event. But yeah, global events, we're going to be visiting all different countries around the world, in Europe, all around America, South America, Dubai, and we're going to basically be putting ourselves out there, you know, showcasing what we've got, what we're building, and what we're actually planning to build, like our future, what the future is going to look like for Kick Labs. And essentially, we're just going to go out there and make as many partnerships as we can, and really just engage with the communities around the world. You know, we hope to see some of you in some of them places. Maybe I'm sure you'll get an opportunity to do that and maybe meet us face to face. So yeah, that's exciting. Another part of the team expansion, which I wrote separately, I've just missed it, is customer service. So right now we've created a ticketing system, which people have been using, and we've been responding to those and closing them as they get the help that they need. We're going to also have a customer service team, which is going to be for Kick Chain and also KickX, the exchange that we're building. That's really exciting as well, because it means that it's just more time for us to be able to engage with you lot and also work on what we're doing. So anyway, yeah, so where are we with this deal? Now, as I say, we've been and shook hands with some investors. We've been backwards and forwards, had many meetings now over the last few weeks. And the next stage for us is to, and this is going to sound random probably, but we're going to have to open up a new bank account. Now, last year we had a lot of rigmarole trying to open up a crypto-friendly bank account that's going to allow a crypto company to thrive. We did manage to find one, which is good. We've still got it. The problem is this bank will only allow us to deposit up to 100k, and obviously that's not going to be enough. Plus, they also only insure £85,000, which is not a lot of money. If we're going to take millions of dollars into our bank, we want it all covered, you know. So anyway, that's another thing I've been working on. I've had to basically face the same challenges as I did last year. And the good news is we've nearly finished that process. All being well, we're expecting within the next 72 hours to have this new bank account open, because they've done all the checks and they've been doing all the risk mitigation plans with us and things, you know. So that's exciting, and that means that we'll be able to actually receive this investment and then get things moving. So another issue I wanted to address is about our ecosystem at the moment. I don't know if you've noticed, well, I assume you will have. I mean, a lot of our DApps over the last year or two, I briefly mentioned it in the chat, but they look like they're being abandoned. Now, I just wanted to address this point because, and I want to make clear that they're not being abandoned. We've not just decided to give up on them and do something different. What we've decided is we're going to make a sort of all-in-one. So CICX, the exchange that we're building, is going to become like a hub for everything that we've been trying to do. And the reason for this is because it's just going to streamline and make the process of managing each one of these apps a lot easier. Now, logistically, it makes a lot more sense to use our exchange anyway as a bridge, a multi-chain bridge. Like if you go on Binance or whichever exchange you trade on, you'll see that you can go on Ethereum, for example, and then you can withdraw it to 5 different networks, or if not more than that. And it's going to be the same on CICX, you know. So basically, we're just going to use that as a means to bridge, because obviously all of these new assets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many of the top 100 coins will be then available on KickChain. So yeah, we're going to obviously use the exchange for that, but we're also going to be, we're also building another launchpad. The launchpad is going to start off similar to what you've seen in many others, like Pink Sale or like what we started to build, but it's going to be a lot bigger than that. We're actually building something where, now I've got to be careful about what the words I use here, because there's some secrets that I don't really want to be revealing. So imagine there's a few launch pads out there, like ETHPad. I don't know if you've seen ETHPad, ethpad.com, I think it is, where you'll go on, you'll stake your Ethereum, and then you can essentially take part in loads of really highly anticipated launches. We're going to basically be doing that for CIC Chain. We're going to give all of you guys an opportunity to participate in them using either your Lithium, your Elix, or your Kick. And you can, if you stake your Elix, you'll probably get higher returns because there'll be a lot of users on the exchange who don't have it, which is good. But then you'll lock up your coins or tokens for a short amount of time, maybe a week or however long leading up to the launch. And in exchange for that, you're going to get a small allocation to be able to actually participate in the launch onto our exchange, which is awesome. And then, yeah, we're also going to then help those projects with marketing and things. And that's going to be a huge difference between what we've been doing with our move to Kick and build on Kick campaigns. Essentially, what we're trying to do is create an environment where everybody's competing to be on that exchange, and they're wanting to launch with us because they know that when they do, they're going to have the most publicity, they're going to have help with technical support, and they're going to have a lot of people competing to try and buy in, so they know that their launch is going to be successful. So yeah, sorry, I was just reading the chat. Now, there's a few other dApps that we're going to be obviously moving over. We're going to be keeping our DAO and all these sorts of things as they are. But the exchange is going to become a hub for many different apps. Everything that you can think of crypto related is going to be on there, including something that none of you have heard of yet, which is Aegis Wallet. It's going to be an expansion from Kick Wallet, what we have now. Aegis Wallet is our version of Trezor, for example, or any other hardware wallet. Now, if you look at a hardware wallet, and earlier on this year, basically, a lot of people were complaining that they believe that their hardware wallets are not as safe as what they are made out to be. And the problem, well, actually, we learned firsthand that there's a fundamental problem with these 12-word seed phrases. When Sean from Farmageddon showed us a screen of him hacking into, generating random private keys one after another, and he was making thousands a day, and checking them for any BNB or whatever dust in whatever tokens, essentially. And he was just showing just how easy it is to brute force your way into many different wallets within seconds. Now, obviously, something needs to change with that. So we've created our own solution, which is multi-layered and has unique features. It's never been done before. And what we're going to do is offer that as a service. And you'll understand why we're doing this as soon as we can release more information about the exchange and the big features of the exchange that we're not talking about yet. But it will all come together. And when you see the bigger picture, it's going to be amazing. So yeah, we'll tell you more about that as soon as possible. Now, yeah, that's Kick. I mean, obviously our team, we have been quite quiet. That doesn't mean we're not working. We are working. I saw some people saying that the office isn't real. The office is real. I'm in the office right now. A few little things. It is what it is. I'm not bothered about any of that. While we're on the subject of Kick, I'm going to scroll up through the chat and check if there's any questions from anybody that I can answer at this stage. So I'm going to do that. Will there be a KickX beta version for volunteers to try before launch? Great question, John. We will actually invite some people to come and try it before launch. You'll know about that when the time comes. To be honest, I think you'd be a good candidate. You've been around quite a while. So we'll definitely let you know about that. Make partnership with change. It's a good project. I agree with you, and that is something we'd love to do. I mean, we're going to launch our own liquidity pool, but we want to do that on change as well, because it's better to collaborate with people and, you know, bring new people over. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Sorry, this software is not as good when you're using your phone. What about the 30k kick giveaway? So actually, it's 50k kick. So essentially, what I'm going to do is give away 50k kick, maybe to between a few people, just for asking questions, you know, engaging. But I want to see some decent questions, you know, not just for the sake of asking, something that's actually going to provide value to the rest of the people in here. Has anyone got any questions about anything that I've said so far? I know it's been a bit chaotic. I had a presentation and everything made on my computer, but unfortunately, I messed that up. First question is about VC meetings. How are your meetings going, and did we get close to any deal? Well, hopefully I've already answered that one. We are close to a deal, yeah. And they're going well. What are the terms of the funding deal? So we're actually negotiating an equity deal in the company that's building everything, with an option to buy back half of the equity that we're selling in 3 to 5 years. What if KickX fails? I mean, anything can fail, you know. Good question. We're not going to stop. I can't see why it would fail. There's no logical reason why it would. And in order to be able to answer that question to the best of my ability, I'd have to reveal certain things which I can't reveal right now. But what I can say is, when you go onto CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, for example, and you look at the top exchanges, the biggest factor in being high up on that list is liquidity. And we're going to be up there with the top 5 or 10 exchanges based on liquidity alone. So that's a massive determining factor for people who are unsure, you know. And the fact that our exchange is going to be completely insured, as in, well, and safe, you know, there is literally no physical way that me or anybody in our team will be able to manipulate the exchange. We won't be able to steal anything. We won't be able to commingle customer funds or whatever the hell else Sam SPF did, you know, which is amazing. We've purposefully collaborated with companies to make sure that we literally cannot do any of those things, which makes it a lot safer than several other exchanges out there. You said we pivot our project, so what major pivot you did? The major pivot we've done is, when we first started, there was a lot of excitement about people essentially wanting us to continue at this fast rate of working and releasing loads of DApps. And we got suckered into that, believing that we had to accommodate for that. And by accommodating for that, I mean, we wanted to get everything out there as fast as possible. We didn't really have a plan to execute how we was going to make those DApps that we were building successful. Now, because of that, obviously, we're in a position where we built loads of random things without any sensible action plan. It's good that we've got that and we're able to do things like that, but we've learned a lot since then. And essentially what we're doing now is we're being far more calculated about everything that we're doing, which is a good thing. It shows maturity and growth. And obviously now we've got a plan and we know exactly when we do release anything from here on out, what we're going to do with those, you know, and how we're going to manage them. What feature of the exchange do you believe will be the one feature that breaks the Web3 space? If I could tell you that, I would. Remember that question. I'm gonna give you 10,000 kick for asking that one. Out of the 50,000 I was going to give away. It is a really, really good question, and I just want to highlight that I would really love to answer that question. The problem is, if I answer that question, then I'm breaking NDAs and things like that I've created, you know, so I can't do that right now. But we definitely will, and the goal is to start to release this information by the end of the year. I told you all that by the end of this year, we will drop some things that nobody will be expecting, you know, some really good news, and that is the plan. That is exactly what we're going to be dropping. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how long it will be before you get that information, but our goal is to have that information released by the end of the year. And from that moment onwards, we're going to kickstart the marketing and let everybody know about it, you know. So that's going to be a massive catalyst to mass adoption. Is Kick Chain still technically competitive? The technology is, yeah, it's never not going to be, really. And the fact that we're so upgradable so easily, we can just upgrade and change anything as and when we want, as long as people obviously want us to do that. We're not just going to do that without consulting with the DAO. Will we have any new tokens on the Kick Chain? I mean, yeah, of course. We've got several teams working right now. I need to just remember myself actually that I need to organize another meeting with one of the guys I mentioned maybe 2 months ago. You know, these people have been pivoting a lot themselves. So, I mean, they've got established communities and they've already got tokens and apps and things like that launched, but they wanted to basically make this an exciting new thing with collaborating with us. And that part of their journey has changed a couple of times. They've just been optimizing things, and we've been backwards and forwards over a period of time. And hopefully, as soon as possible, we'll see more concrete progress. And then obviously, as the marketing starts to happen, people are going to naturally move over here and start building anyway. People will know about us as soon as possible. When we actually close the deal, as in the money reaches our bank, I'm telling you now, within 24 hours, we will kickstart the marketing campaigns, and you will know that that money is there. I'm not sure if you know how much. That depends on what both parties agree with at the time. There may be some PR about it, there may not. But the fact is, you will know, because the caliber of people that we'll be talking about Kick Chain is like nothing that you've ever seen on anything that we've ever done anyway. Sorry, I can't, I'm reading Ricky's message, it's not showing it properly. Talking about liquidity, I'm having to persuade Halil to keep the listing for Kick. Projects with less liquidity and trading volume cost the overall score of the exchange on CG, etc. So the question is, are you now in a position to provide some liquidity or hire a market making bot? We can explore market making on there, yeah. Right, I don't think there's anything else there. If there is, I'm sure someone will remind me. Big companies like Amazon are looking into using Web3 space. If we're able to deliver a safer and quicker project, what marketing plans you have in place to get Kick Chain into companies' hands quicker? What marketing plans you have in place to get Kick into their hands quicker? Well, exactly as we've said. So what we're doing is we're building a platform when we start our marketing campaigns, what we're planning, we're collaborating with some massive companies who are owned and managed by massive influencers in the space, and they've got huge loyal followings, and they're on shows, podcasts, and this sort of thing. So we're going to be working with them, and that means we're going to be featured all over their websites, podcasts, Twitter or X Spaces, and YouTube videos and things like this. And we're just going to be anywhere and everywhere. And what that's going to do is allow us to then, off the back of that, start to bring these people over to what we're building as well, which is basically our own like marketing and our own platform to be able to express what we think about the crypto space in general, what's happening and whatnot. We're actually building and working on our own YouTube channel right now. And we're collaborating with another creator to provide high quality content over the next maybe 1 to 2 months. And yeah, so basically what we're going to do is all of these things are going to come together. It's like a bigger picture. You've got to step back and look at all of it. And when you see what we're building, there's going to be a lot of publicity about that when you actually realize, or when you receive this news that I keep talking about that I can't tell you about yet. You're going to basically see that this is big. And then when you see the people talking about it, you're going to be like, wow. And now these people are all going to know who we are. So that when we say things, it's going to have authority and people are going to understand that we're going to deliver on those things. And yeah, and that marketing that comes with that is going to be amazing. And then we can also like use that for other people who want to build on our chain and things. Can we get a roadmap for the next 6 months? Yes, we can. Yeah, what I'd like to do is maybe tomorrow I'll come in the office from my computer, and I'll just record a little presentation for you, and then I'll send it into our community chat, or I'll leave it on the channel here, and you can all just watch that and see where we are, what we're doing, and why. How are you feeling? How are you and the team feeling at the moment, Jared? Pumped? Well, there's been many a sleepless night since we started this journey, and a lot of it was sleepless because of the stress. You know, I mean, it was overwhelming at times, but that sleeplessness now is about pure excitement. You know, it's like adrenaline. You should see some of the calls that we've had as a team and some of the conversations we've had. We're talking big numbers that the average person can't fathom. Not just about like the investment we're getting, I'm talking about the market size of what we're doing, you know. I'm pretty excited. When can we expect to starting to see some positive price action? Well, yesterday, the day before. I mean, what are we, 20, 30, 40% up or whatever from the lows of the last few days? I don't even know what the price is, to be honest. But yeah, obviously, I can't tell you when the price is going to go up. I also, you know, it's nothing to do with me. The only time it is to do with me is if I'm responsible for market making at a time or something like that, you know, where I'm just moving the spreads up a little bit to reduce the bottom buy and the top sell, or the space between them, you know. All I can say is that the marketing and things are going to come as soon as we close this deal. And like I said, this deal's got to be closed before the end of the year. And obviously, marketing, one would reasonably assume that marketing would cause hype, which can lead to a price increase. Yes, Ricky, definitely, that's a great question. Can you speak about the importance of why we as a team do not speak about price and the importance behind that? So there's a lot of people with a bad name in this space. I mean, most of them are actually getting shafted right now, the kind of people that I used to speak about. Some might have called me bitter or whatever, but you're going to see through some people and their intentions, you know, like John Caroni and I can't remember the other guy's name, Papa or whatever, that was working for John. Pair of idiots, you know. And then Brian Legend, or Brian Saylor, who changed his name to Brian Legend because of all the hate he was receiving. Now, these are the kind of people who go there and tell everyone this is going to happen, buy now and buy then, or sell now, or whatever. They just talk shit, basically, all being scrutinised by the SEC in one way or another. The fact is, if I was to come out here and start telling you that the price is going to go up because of this, this, and this, I'm literally making a promise there, and that fails the Howey test, which is essentially saying that kick is a security because you guarantee profit, because I'm telling you the price is just so nobody sees that out of context. That's not what I'm saying, you know. It is what it is. Things move up, they move down. If you look at all of the facts around the price that we're currently at and the market cap and things like that, it wouldn't be unsensible to say the price could go up, but you have got to be responsible for making that decision. You know, I cannot be the one telling you anything that's going to happen with the price, because the fact is I don't know or care about the price as much as people think I should. Obviously, I would feel better if I saw, in some ways, that creates a level of hype in the chat, which would make me feel good, knowing that people are happy at what we've been doing. But at the same time, I know we're on a journey, and I know where that journey is headed. I know where I'm not going to be happy until it gets to, in terms of adoption. What comes with adoption, you know, you've got to make that judgment yourself. Do you plan on hiring dedicated tech team on your payroll? Yes, we do. We're going to massively increase all areas of our team. We've already got a plan to hire at least 30 new people. We've got 10 to 20 customer service / community members, community team members, sorry. And then there's obviously going to be loads of new technical people, and also one or two lawyers that will be working with us full time. Then there's also going to be like freelance people here and there and everywhere, just doing odd jobs, which are kind of small things. I don't know, they might be helping us build a promotion or something on Twitter or X, or in the Telegram community. They might just put a little promotion together or whatnot, you know. There's going to be a lot more people around. We're also hiring 1 or 2 more C-level people in the company, and a new director as well, which you'll learn more about in the near future. Our new investors are interested in both, but they're getting equity. Right. Thanks for the questions. I'm going to go back and pick some more winners. If there's anything I've missed, I will get back to you. Stig, sorry, I'll just answer this one. Where do you see yourself in 3 years when it comes to market share? Do you have any estimates of kick price at that stage? I wish I could say, just as I was talking about the price a minute ago, if I was to now start talking about where I see the price, you know. Do you target Web3 gaming sector? We will be doing. Yep, we've got a plan for that. And we'll share comes. I don't want to overwhelm people. There's a lot going on, even for us. So right now I'm trying to not get too deep in these sorts of things, because I've got to focus most of my energy on the things that matter the most to us right now, which are obviously what we're doing right now. And they're going to produce the results for every other element of our ecosystem. I just want to add to what I was saying earlier with bringing most of our DApps to our exchange. That's going to allow us to create like layer 2 Ethereum network and things, which is awesome. So there'll be a lot going on. I don't want to overwhelm people. Someone was asking for a bit of a roadmap, and I said I'll make a presentation video that will come onto the channel, and you'll find out more about all of this. We've been hearing various versions of the same thing. What is different now? Because that's what's happening, you know. If you notice, there might be different versions of it, but the information is always exactly the same. The reason that is happening is because, well, obviously it's different times, maybe because we've been come out of our mouths or into the chat because we've been doing different things that day, you know, but ultimately every single one of them is based around the same thing. We can't share this information because it is to protect our intellectual property, including the fact that NDAs ourselves, and we've given them to others. And if we were to now talk about these things, then what was the point giving them an NDA? And what was the point in going through all of this rigorous process that we've been doing? You know, if we're just going to go and spill the beans to everybody else before we're able to actually deliver on what we're building before them, you know, we want to at least speak else after being the people who thought up the idea in the way that we did, and then took the actual action to make it a reality. Yes, there are new projects that are expected to be listed on CIC Chain in the near future, and obviously more people are going to want to when they see more hype and they see more adoption, you know, come over and use it. They'll see more trading volume, I assume, and then more accessibility because we're on newer exchanges. So obviously that'll pique the interest of new developers as well. But there are at least 3 other projects looking to build on CIC Chain. Sorry, I can't see the question properly. Are there real actions or only planned absence? What is the first new thing you're going to do? Well, I've pretty much explained everything that we're going to do in this video. If you want to go back and watch it from the beginning, well, you'll see that we've been taking a lot of action. We've been traveling around Europe and things over the last few weeks, and we've been shaking hands with investors. So I'll let you go back. I'm assuming you must have missed that part of the AMA. Can you speak about why the team is not as social in the community chat? Yeah, of course, because it's just, we haven't got a big team in the operational side, you know, and we've got a lot of supportive people around, but the fact is the C-level people in this company do not want to be wasting time talking in community chats about our company when we could be working on a company, you know. And that's just the way it is at the moment. We do want to change that, don't get me wrong. It's not that we don't want to spend time with you. The problem is we're at a critical stage where we're making a lot of big decisions, or we might be making we're having a lot of big meetings with different people about different things, and like consultations backwards and forwards with partners. And essentially these are an urgent priority, you know. Now, a part of that is because when I spend a lot of time in the chat, we see a lot of the same questions coming over and over again, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing any of that. But the problem I've got is it starts to, what's the word I'm looking for? You start to feel tired or drained, you know, it's when you're saying the same things over and over again. Now, I'm only human, you know, it's been a lot, but we've come a long way, you know, we're at the other side of that now. And to me, I'm just focusing my energy where it's going to produce the best results. So, yeah. Are you lacking funds? Well, I thought that would be obvious if we're getting investments that we don't have loads of funds. We've got some funds, you know, we've got operational funds, but we obviously don't have the funds to deliver on the big goals that we want to deliver on. Israel, that's going to come naturally when they see what happens, I believe. I think the negative sentiment comes from the lack of action that is actually measurable in the public eye. That's going to change, obviously, when people start seeing the action. I agree with this point as well. After the collapse of FTX, people already lost faith from CEX and moved towards decentralized exchanges. I agree, you know. I'm also an investor. I don't keep my funds on exchanges anymore. However, we've taken action to change, or basically we've learned from the hindsight of a lot of the failed exchanges, and there has been a lot over the years. We've basically took a look at why a lot of them failed, what any similarities between them all, and what can we do to basically prevent that from happening when we launch ours. And that's what we've done. We've taken action. And when the time comes that we release all of the information, you will all clearly see that we are not like any of them other exchanges. Any crypto summits that you will present, Kick? Yeah, we're going to travel all over the world. My friend, we're going to go all across Europe, the USA, Dubai, maybe India, maybe the Philippines as well. The plan is to be anywhere and everywhere, you know. We want everybody to understand and know what our mission is. The big thing with us is we have a why. Now, I believe that I'm not just here to make some money, build a company that gets a lot of value. I'm actually here to provide value and make a difference in the space that has been lacking for many years. There's too many people who are just driven by nothing but money, you know. And whilst obviously there needs to be some sort of financial incentive for an entrepreneur to produce big results, that's a given. The problem is a lot of people, their mindset is stuck to just that, you know, and they're unable to really focus on the process of improving the space and creating value for the industry, which is exactly what we want to do. Now, you've probably seen that sort of mindset from the beginning when we first launched our first token, which was all about creating self-sustaining growth. And that's because we don't want to rely on other people. And there's been too many times now over the past few years we've relied on other people, or we've seen exchanges collapse, and we've seen coins and tokens and everything else completely collapse. Not always because of bad management, but most of it is, you know, and it doesn't necessarily mean they were bad people, but people ignored warning signs and things that they should have really paid attention to, and they didn't learn from the last time it happened, because a lot of these things are very similar. If you actually go back and study the details of each case where a massive billion-dollar project has collapsed, there's a lot of similarities between each one. And that's what we've been studying and learning from, because we are not going to be one of those, you know. And yeah, that's our why. We actually want to improve the space. As a crypto investor, what's the best bank in the UK we could use? Tough one. Maybe Wise or Revolut. Probably Wise or Revolut. Although Hong Kong, I believe, or Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Association is what I was going to say. HSBC. For some reason, I said Hong Kong. It's been a long day. HSBC are creating some sort of crypto thing. I'm not sure exactly. I only read the headline of it, but they're basically trying to implement crypto payments or something like that, which would be good. So what's your clear vision regarding KIC and KIC CEX? Because I was reading in the white paper, you will be giving escrow payment system and CIC Pay, which will give bank grade security, and people have bank grade security to investors and payment privacy. So I mean, payment privacy, that all comes from just zero knowledge transactions and things. And we're gonna obviously carry on and deliver all of these things, but again, the white paper was our vision, it was our idea, what we wanted to do. Now we've turned the idea into an actual concept so we know exactly how we're going to do it. And I spoke about ages briefly not so long ago, and I'm going to present it hopefully tomorrow to you all so you can understand exactly what it is we're talking about. But that's where the KIC Pay and all this sort of thing are all going to come together, and you'll see the bank grade security and the ability to not need a hardware wallet to have an even more secure protection system on your assets. So it's going to be more secure than a Trezor wallet and a few like it, but you're not going to need any hardware. Anybody can sign up at any point, and because you don't need to buy it anything up front, we're going to charge a monthly subscription fee. It's going to be cheap, but you're paying for the protection, you know. That's if you want the security. I mean, you don't need to pay a monthly fee to use KIC Pay and whatnot. My clear vision regarding CIC is to become a hub where new investors, especially, and anybody maybe from the older generation, anybody who doesn't have any crypto knowledge can come over and use CIC in a way where we are just as transparent as possible and engaging as possible with our community, our exchange as well. We want it to just be as easy to use and as transparent as possible. We want to create and trust, and with that, disrupt industries, build our own versions of many different things over many years. We've got a 10-year strategy and loads of things we want to build. I'm not going to go into any of them because they're just words at the moment, and you know things pivot. You've seen us pivot many times, but we have loads of ideas. It's just endless. But we just don't waste time now thinking new ideas up, you know. We haven't shared them all with you, but we will get there. Oh, don't worry about that, Sergio. There will be at least one monthly AMA here. We've got loads of plans for that. Like I say, we're expanding the team once we finalize these investments. I'm not going to share about WAGMI NFTs in this one. I'll do that in the community chat. So yeah, is there any other questions anyone wants to know? I'm going to go back on these and choose some winners. I've got a few ideas for some questions. I just can't remember them now because I've been answering them as I go along. But I'm going to go back, choose some winners, and 5 of you will receive 10,000 KIC. What prevents KIC from getting listed on major exchanges? There's nothing preventing us from doing. We just haven't made any moves to do that. I mean, we can't tell you any hurdles other than financial hurdles where we're not on major exchanges right now because we literally haven't got the conversations going with them. But we will. And when we do, we'll provide that information to you. But I don't think we'll have any issues with that once we've secured funding, because with VC investment comes an established layer of trust, and with money comes liquidity, which then brings more and more trust, you know. No problem, mate. I mean, like I say, I like engaging with everybody. There's just been a lot going on. I mean, just in life in general, you know, it's been hard, but we're here, we're still going, and we're having a lot of fun. Do you plan on BSC with Bridge with a wrapped KIC token? I'm assuming you mean do we plan on moving Kick over to the Binance Smart Chain? We're happy to do that if that's what people want us to do. If we were doing things like that, what we'll have to do is create many different liquidity pools. So it's going to take time. With our plans and what we're building, there's going to be a lot of monthly recurring revenue, which means we can just keep cycling it back in, you know. And my plan is not to just get VC funding and then pour it all into liquidity pools, because that would just be a waste of money which we can use to build, you know. But we are going to put some in, just not like create them on every network. We might create some incentives for other people if they want to do that. But we're going to focus on establishing the business and our presence in the industry, yeah. And then we're going to basically, we'll use the revenue we're generating from the things that we're creating to continually build up each part of the ecosystem, you know. And that's where you guys can all come in, because we're going to utilize the DAO to vote on where you want to list next, which network should we go over to and whatnot, and then we'll just do that. Because your facial appearance is giving confidence to investors. Does the investor part of DAO? The investors that we've been talking to, they're not part of DAO, no, but they may be in the future. Oh yes, I'm assuming that message you've just sent was a follow-up to the other one you sent. Good luck, Jared and team. I sincerely pray for your success. Thank you. Yeah, we're not going to stop. We're here. We're working hard. We're making a lot of moves. We're really honing in on what we want to do, which is good to see. Not necessarily good for all of you guys when you're not seeing us around all the time, but I assure you now, this is going to change a lot over the coming weeks, and that means we're going to have a lot more people like community moderators and things, and they will know exactly what's going on as well, you know, so that you're not just asking them and getting told that you don't know, or they don't know, sorry, what's happening. Will our exchange be built on a pre-built platform? So essentially it's been being built from a pre-built platform, you know, but not really. It's many pre-built platforms, fundamentals of many, should I say, in one. How long do you think, or do you expect it to take to build? Within, I can't tell you exactly how long, but what I can tell you is we have plans for mid next year. We've said always that our goal is to be basically not capturing, but bringing this new wave of investors that are going to come from the bull market, which is triggered after the Bitcoin halving happens. It kickstarts that bull market. We want to be positioned in a prime position to grab a lot of those newcomers to the space, and then we're going to educate them with our learn-to-earn platform, and we're going to keep them into our ecosystem by introducing them to a few great things. I can't say more. I wish I could. Honestly, I keep nearly slipping up, so I'm having to think about what I'm saying. But yeah, hopefully there's not much longer left now until I'm able to actually share a lot of this information. So it appears I've covered everything on there. Everything that I managed to write down in the time I had before we started. And my plan was to talk about Helix and Wendex as well. We're well over the time already. Perhaps we can have an AMA, another one, over the next few days. Maybe even tomorrow. No, actually I'm going to do the video tomorrow. maybe Friday. We'll do it on Friday, where I'll just talk exclusively about Lithium X and Wendex token, basically because we manage those tokens. And then I'll answer all of your questions on there and we can go from there. Hopefully that's all right with you guys. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for all of your patience and understanding while we basically have been figuring things out. Like I say, it's not been easy. I mean, we've been through a lot, you know, together. A lot of us, you know, you've been with us for 1-2 years, some even longer than that at this point. We do appreciate all of you. Hopefully you can see that we've grown a lot. We used to just be really impulsive and we'd be getting a lot of, or we'd be making a lot of ideas or getting a lot of ideas into our heads and we'd be just wanting to make our moves on all of them. And unfortunately, it came back to bite us. We had good intentions at all times, but not everybody else does in the industry. And unfortunately, other projects failing and whatnot has caused us to have to overcome different hurdles. You know, we've had our own fair share of hurdles we've had to overcome. But hopefully you can see at least that we are committed. We've been here since day one. We've overcame every one of those hurdles that could have potentially been debilitating for other startups. Some of the things that we faced have destroyed many projects over the last few years. They will never destroy us because we have a why, and our why is to really make this space better and to make it safer for everybody. Because I am sick to fucking death of people scamming other people with crypto. It's just ruining the industry that I love so much. And I have made it my life mission to make this space safer. And I'm telling you, I will never stop until I am happy in what I have done to contribute to making it safer, you know. And only then will I ever consider stepping back. Obviously, over the next year, there's going to be a lot of shifts in the team, especially, you know, we're going to be looking at a completely different team altogether, you know, and set up because there's going to be so many new people and faces around. Hopefully that's going to allow me to be more active with everybody in the community. I will try and make more of an effort to spend some time popping in and out, you know. But yeah, hopefully, like I say, you can see the growth, and I hope you're as excited as we are to see what we've got up our sleeves. Right, I'm going to call it there, I think, guys. Because I've left my charger at home, I'm going to go back. I'll get onto my computer maybe tonight, dig up any information that I might have missed out. I'm going to put that onto another document ready for tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'll release a video, which is like a kind of little presentation that's talking about a couple of new things, including ages and just anything that I've missed because of this unfortunate issue that we faced. And hopefully I'll share one of our other YouTube channels. So yeah, I just want to say thank you all for coming, and I'll see you next time. Take care.